Hi, and welcome back to Miss Rain. I'm so excited to be in your ears today. So, you mentioned needing new running shoes out loud to a friend, phone in your pocket, and the next time you open Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, there they are, Nike ads, Adidas, running gear, everywhere. You think about a vacation to Bali. You don't search it, you just think about it. And suddenly, Bali travel guides, Bali hotels, 10 things to do in Bali. And you wonder, is my phone listening to me? Is the algorithm reading my mind? Here is the uncomfortable truth. The algorithm isn't just reflecting what you want, it's shaping what you want. It's not just reading your reality, it's writing it. And today we're talking about how your feed is quietly influencing your thoughts, beliefs, desires, and entire worldview without you even noticing. Today's episode is going to make you look at your phone very differently. What I find fascinating is we all feel watched. We all feel like our phones are listening. I have a friend who literally turns her phone off or puts it on airplane mode whenever we discuss anything personal. Bank details, airplane mode. Relationship problems, airplane mode. Future plans, again, airplane mode. And at first I thought, that's a bit paranoid, right? But then I started paying attention and I realized she's not paranoid. She's aware. So here is what we're unpacking today. Is technology working for us or against us? Because yes, the algorithm is helpful when you're searching for a product, researching a topic, learning something new. Every platform competes to show you the best version of what you want. But when it comes to your thoughts, your beliefs, your reality, that's when it becomes threatening. In this episode, we're diving into the science of how algorithms actually work, simplified, not tech jargon. The psychology of how your feed is shaping your thoughts without your permission. The spiritual lens, what does it mean to guard what you consume? And most importantly, how to take back control of your mind, your reality, and your frequency. Because here is the truth. Your algorithm is influencing you. Your mental state jumps between emotions in minutes, sometimes seconds. And most of it is curated by code. Let's break it down. So let's start with the question everyone asks. Is my phone actually listening to me? The official answer, tech companies say no. Apple, Google, Meta, they all claim they're not actively listening to your conversations through your microphone to serve you ads. And technically, they're probably telling the truth. But here is the thing, you don't need to listen because they have something better. Your phone doesn't need to hear you talk about running shoes. It already knows. You've been searching for getting shape content. You've been watching fitness videos. You follow runners on Instagram. Your friend just posted about a 5K. You've liked 3 posts about morning routines this week. So when the algorithm serves you running shoe ads, it's not listening. It's predicting. And it's so good at predicting that it feels like mind reading. So you're literally giving your data away every time you click on a post, pause on a video, search something, like, comment, share, spend time on a page, follow or unfollow someone. You're feeding the algorithm data about who you are, what you want, what you believe, and what you'll engage with next. Research from MIT and Stanford shows that algorithms can predict your behavior with up to 95% accuracy based on your digital behavior patterns. They know you better than you know yourself, not because they're listening to your conversations, but because they're watching your behavior. And here is where it gets unsettling. Sometimes the algorithm predicts what you want before you consciously want it. You haven't searched for baby products, but you've been engaging with family content, following people with kids, watching day in the life of a mom videos, liking posts about relationships and stability, and suddenly, baby ads all over your feed. The algorithm saw the pattern before your conscious mind did. Is that helpful or invasive? Now, here is where it gets deeper because the algorithm isn't just reflecting your interests, it's shaping them. And most people don't realize this happening. Confirmation bias is the psychological tendency to seek out, interpret, and remember information that confirms what you already believe. We all do this naturally, but social media algorithms amplify this by 1000%. Here is how. You engage with one post about, let's say, modern dating is broken. The algorithm notices, so it shows you more content about toxic dating culture, why men or women are terrible, relationship red flags, breakup stories, and the more you engage, the more it shows you. Soon, your entire feed is dating is awful, people are selfish, love is dead, toxic relationships, trust no one. And here is the dangerous part. You start to believe that's reality. Not because it is reality, but because it's your curated reality. Research by Dr. Eli Pariser, author of The Filter Bubble, shows that algorithmic curation creates echo chambers where you only see content that reinforces your existing beliefs, making those beliefs feel like objective truth. The result? Your worldview narrows, your beliefs harden, your reality becomes smaller, and you don't even realize it's happening. Now, let me introduce you to a part of your brain that makes this even more powerful. Ladies and gentlemen, the reticular activating system, or RAS. The RAS is a network of neurons in your brainstem that filters information. Your brain receives about 11 million bits of information per second, but you can only consciously process about 40 to 50 bits. So your RAS decides what gets through. And here is how it decides. It prioritizes what you've told it is important. This is why, when you're pregnant, you suddenly see pregnant women everywhere. When you buy a purple car, you notice purple cars everywhere. When you think about a problem, you see signs related to it everywhere. Your RAS is looking for what you've programmed it to notice. The algorithm hijacks this. When you consume content about how hard life is, how people disappoint you, how the world is dangerous, how success is impossible, your RAS starts filtering reality to show you more of that. So you notice the negative more. Interpret neutral situations as threatening. Miss opportunities because you're focused on obstacles. Confirm that the world really is like this. But it's not the world, it's your filter, shaped by your algorithm. Here is the third thing happening. Emotional contagion. A famous and controversial Facebook study in 2014 manipulated 689K users' feeds. Half saw more positive content, half saw more negative content. The result? People who saw positive content posted more positively. And you guessed it right. People who saw negative content posted more negatively. Their emotions were literally being influenced by what they consumed, and they had no idea. This is called emotional contagion, the phenomenon where emotions spread from person to person. On social media, you're constantly exposed to outrage, fear, anxiety, comparison, anger, and your nervous system absorbs it. Your mental state jumps between emotions in minutes, sometimes seconds. Not because your life is chaotic, but because your feed is. And here is what most people don't realize. You think those emotions are yours, but they're absorbed from your consumption. Now, let me bring this into a spiritual context because this isn't just psychology. This is about protecting your soul. In Islam, there is a teaching about guarding your senses. The Quran says, "And do not pursue that of which you have no knowledge. Indeed, the hearing, the sight, and the heart, about all those one will be questioned." What you see, what you hear, what you let into your heart, you will be held accountable for, not just morally, but energetically. Because what you consume affects your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions, your reality, and your frequency. There is a universal spiritual law. What you feed grows. What you starve dies. If you feed your mind outrage, you become outraged. Comparison, you become insecure. Fear, you become anxious. Scarcity, you become desperate. If you feed your mind inspiration, you become motivated. Gratitude, you become abundant. Peace, you become grounded. Wisdom, you become discerning. Your algorithm is feeding you. The question is, what is it feeding you? And here is where spirituality and science meet. Your frequency, the energetic vibration you operate at, is influenced by what you consume. If you're constantly consuming drama, negativity, comparison, doom scrolling, your frequency drops. You feel heavy, anxious, depleted. But when you consume beauty, inspiration, wisdom, peace, your frequency rises. You feel light, calm, clear. Again, this isn't woo-woo, this is energy. And your algorithm, it's either raising your frequency or lowering it. Whether you're Muslim or not, the principle remains: you are what you consume. Your mind, your energy, your reality, all shaped by what you allow in. This is why spiritual traditions across the world emphasize discernment in what we see, hear, and absorb. Okay, so now that we understand how the algorithm works, let's talk about the real danger. Your feed might be keeping you stuck, and you don't even know it. You're going through a breakup. You watch one video about signs your ex is a narcissist. Suddenly, your entire feed is narcissist red flags, toxic relationship trauma, healing from emotional abuse, why all men or women are terrible. And 6 months later, you're still identifying as a victim, seeing narcissists everywhere, unable to trust anyone, stuck in the story. Not because you haven't healed, but because your feed won't let you move on. This was scenario number 1 about the doom spiral. Let us move now to another scenario, the comparison trap. So you engage with a few posts about luxury lifestyles, that girl morning routines, six-figure months, perfect bodies, and automatically your feed is full of people who seem to have it all together, make money effortlessly, look perfect, live perfect lives, and you feel behind, not enough, like a failure, constantly inadequate. Your algorithm has turned your feed into a highlight reel of things you're not. Another scenario, the fear feedback loop. You click on one post about economic collapse, political chaos, health scares, world ending. Now your feed is disaster predictions, conspiracy theories, fear mongering, survival content, and you become anxious, paranoid, fearful of the future, unable to enjoy the present. Your algorithm has trained you to expect catastrophe. Do you see the pattern? Your feed isn't neutral. It's actively shaping your perception of reality. And if you're not careful, it will shape it in ways that keep you small, scared, stuck, suffering. Alright, so here is the good news. You're not powerless. You can curate your algorithm intentionally. You can use it to support your growth instead of sabotage it. Here is how. Practice number 1, the feed audit. First, you need awareness. As usual, if you've been here for long, you know, this is almost always tip number 1. So, to practice awareness, spend 10 minutes scrolling your feed. But this time, don't engage. Just observe. Ask yourself, what emotions am I feeling as I scroll? Am I inspired or depleted? Am I learning or comparing? Am I uplifted or anxious? Does this content align with who I want to become? Write it down because awareness is, again, the first step to change. If 70% of your feed makes you feel anxious, behind, inadequate, fearful, angry, sorry to break it to you, but your algorithm is working against you. Let's move to practice number 2, intentional curation. Now, actively curate. The 80-20 rule for your feed. 80 of your feed should inspire you, educate you, uplift you, align with your values, support your growth. 20% can be entertainment, mindless fun, lighthearted content. How to curate? Unfollow ruthlessly. Yes, anyone who makes you feel worse after seeing their content, unfollow. No guilt. Mute and don't engage with negativity. If you see rage bait, doom content, comparison triggers, don't comment, don't like, don't share. Mute and move on. Actively seek content that serves you. Search for educators in your field, inspiration in your values, content that elevates your frequency, like our podcast. Use the not interested button. How magical this button is. It's my favorite. Train your algorithm by telling it what you don't want. Follow people who are where you want to be, not to compare, but to normalize the life you're building. Practice number 3, the content detox. Sometimes you need a reset. The 7-day content detox. So, for 7 days, no scrolling for entertainment. No engaging with content that doesn't serve you. No doom scrolling or comparison. Only intentional consumption. Educational, inspirational content, content that aligns with your goals and values. What happens? Your algorithm resets. Your mind clears. Your frequency stabilizes. And you realize Most of what you were consuming was mental pollution, literally. Let's move for practice number 4. Guard your inputs like your life depends on it. Because honestly, it does. The principle is simple. You wouldn't eat poison and expect to feel healthy. So, why consume toxic content and expect to feel peaceful? Guard your eyes, what you watch, your ears, what you listen to, your mind, what you think about, and your energy, what you absorb. Let me give you some practical boundaries. No phone first hour of the day. No scrolling before bed. No consuming content while eating. Just be present. No background noise, podcasts, music, videos all day long. Set time limits on apps. My life changed since I did that. Because your mind is sacred. Your peace is sacred. Your reality is sacred. And you get to protect it. Last but not least, practice number 5. Use the algorithm for good. Here is the thing. The algorithm is a tool, and tools can be used for you or against you. If you want to build a business, engage with business education content. Heal your nervous system, engage with somatic healing content. Strengthen your faith, engage with spiritual wisdom content. Feel abundant, engage with gratitude and success content. Your algorithm will follow, and suddenly your feed becomes a tool for growth instead of a trap of stagnation. Since Miss Rain is for identity reset, let's go for an identity shift from consumed to sovereign. Here is the deeper truth. Most people are being consumed by their consumption. They think they're choosing what to watch, but the algorithm is choosing for them. They think they're thinking their own thoughts, but they're thinking what they've been fed. They think they're living their reality, but they're living a curated version of someone else's design. The shift, the women who reign, they don't let the algorithm decide their reality. They curate intentionally. They consume selectively. They protect their frequency fiercely. Because they understand what you consume becomes what you believe. What you believe becomes what you see. And what you see becomes your reality. So, here is my question for you. What reality are you creating? Are you consuming fear or faith? Scarcity or abundance? Comparison or confidence? Chaos or clarity? Because whatever you're feeding your mind, that's what's growing. You are not a passive consumer. You are a sovereign creator. And your algorithm? It's either serving your vision or sabotaging it. So choose wisely. So here is what I want you to remember from today's episode. The algorithm isn't evil, but it's not neutral either. It's a tool, and like any tool, it can build you up or tear you down. The truth, your phone isn't listening to your conversations, but it's watching your behavior. And it's using that data to predict and shape what you want, think, and believe. But you have the power to take control, to curate intentionally, to consume selectively, to protect your mind, your peace, and your reality. So here is what I want you to do. First, do the feed audit. Right now, if you can, scroll for 10 minutes and notice how it makes you feel. Second, unfollow 10 accounts that don't serve you. No guilt, just discernment. Third, share this episode with someone who needs to hear it because this conversation, it's changing how we interact with technology. And remember, you're not paranoid for protecting your peace. You're sovereign. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Until next time, stay graceful, stay powerful, and always wear your crown.